inclusive campaigning guidelines. It would appear a joint initiative of both the Race Relations Conciliator, or the New Zealand Human Rights Commission, and Local Government New Zealand. There are some, I'd have to say, as an elected member, some disturbing aspects to this. But one of them, and the most important one, is that Local Government New Zealand did not consult its members, and certainly didn't consult me or my council, before it decided to publish them. But nevertheless, it has been published now. It's a small document. I'll put it up on the platform for you, and you can read it for yourself. But I guess you could call him, almost, couldn't you, the sort of co-author of this, is the Race Relations Conciliator, Commissioner, my apologies. Yes, and that's Meng Foon, and a former Mayor of Gisborne, I might add. Meng, good morning to you, and thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, morning, Mike. Awesome.
Can I ask the first question? How did this document come together? Did you approach them, or did they approach you in terms of Local Government New Zealand?
Ever since I've been in the role as Race Relations Commissioner, I have written to the national elections, to all the parties involved, to ensure, that they deal with the issues, not with the people. And so this time, I also did that in the Tauranga by-election, and this time for local government. So I approached Local Government New Zealand. Okay,
and they said to you, Meng, why don't we do something together?
Awesome. Yep.
Is that right?
That's right. That's right. We'll work together on this because we need to do it together, not singularly.
And it was released, I assume, yesterday. Well, that's when I got my copy, so I'm assuming it was released at the Tuesday session of the Local Government New Zealand conference. Is that right?
Yeah. I don't know when it was released, but it's been about 2 or 3 months in the making.
Yes. Okay. Now, the obvious thing is that if I look at this, I feel personally excluded, not included from it. So, for example, I have problems with co-governance of Three Waters. I have problems with Maori wards. I have problems with migration. These are issues that I know that are dear to the heart of a good number of my constituents as well. It's one of the primary reasons why Three Waters in its current guise is opposed by so many councils. This document seems to take a political view on those issues, doesn't it, Meng?
No, I think what we're saying to people that are wanting to be elected or re-elected, that they actually deal with the issues rather than with the people that are involved. Whether it's we live in a multi-ethnic country, and it wasn't that long ago when Asians were the brunt of house prices going up. Well, since COVID, it wasn't actually Asians that put the house prices up. It wasn't Asians that were bad drivers that put the road toll up either, because there'd been no Asians driving cars or coming from overseas during the COVID time. So we just need to make sure that those generalisations are extinguished, and that people actually deal with the issues of co-governance, Three Waters, rubbish, roads, housing, health, rather than dealing with the people that have caused the issues.
Well, can I give you an example here? One of the things to consider you've got in this campaign, one of the documents is that some debates, it says, can be framed in racist and derogatory terms. This has recently included Three Waters and Maori wards, which have at times become derogatory towards Maori. This is racist and not based on fact. What's racist about Three Waters and Maori wards?
Well, I'll tell you what a couple of councillors have put out is burn the tiriti.
Sorry?
Burn the tiriti, that it has no relevance in today's world, in Aotearoa.
Yeah.
And so we're saying, yes, it does. There is a...
But that's not racist, is it? I mean, it's not racist to say that the treaty should have no relevance in today's world. Is that racist?
Yeah, but they're saying that Māori shouldn't actually participate in anything. That they should be subservient.
No, they didn't say that, Meng. They wouldn't have said that. They would have said burn Te Tiriti, the treaty should have no relevance in our lives. That's not the same as Maori should be subservient and have no say. They have a say.
No, but that's what they also say, is that Maori should not be participating in the decision-making of Aotearoa.
Well, they do participate, though, don't they, through voting? What are you trying to say, that there are councillors who have openly, publicly stated that Maori should be banned from voting in local government elections?
Not voting in government elections, participating in decision-making where that there's been disproportionate.
No, you've lost me. Sorry, what do you mean disproportionate? Are you thinking about the Rotorua Maori ward issue?
There's 78 councils and there's 30-odd councils that have decided that Māori have value, and they have decided that Māori should actually be on council, and that's why they have the Māori seats through the minister's sanction. And so other councils are saying, no, you just participate as a voter.
So let me get this right, Meng. If I just want to understand it absolutely rightly. If councils don't have specific Maori seats, you're saying that they are effectively saying, those councils, that Maori have no value?
Yep, because, there's, in some councils there's been no Maoris on councils at all.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, so what?
And yet they have a big role in the kaitiaki part of New Zealand's well-being, especially in terms of environmental matters. And they hold us to account, hold councils to account to ensure that the environmental matters are addressed.
I'm sure that they're an important part of any community, but is it the job of Maori to hold councils to account? I thought there was legislation that governed that.
I don't think the legislation generally is strong enough. Generally, it's tangata whenua that holds councils to account. I mean, here in Gisborne, we let the sewage run into the sea for 60 years till they said to me, look, the sewage needs to actually be taken out of the sea. So we did that in my time anyway.
Okay, so
other jurisdictions never listened at all.
So
they just continued to pollute.
So do you think that your views have been picked up adequately by Local Government New Zealand in terms of this document?
It's a work in progress. I mean, it's there to, and the main purpose of the document is for the coming up local government elections, and it's not to vilify people, but it's to actually focus on the issues at hand.
You've also got something in here that says that we should focus on the issues, not the person. Isn't the reality, though, Meng, and you should know this as a mayor, that when people put themselves up for public office and they become the most important elected member of their community, their personality and their character are issues that voters need to discuss and decide upon?
No, it's the issues that they bring up that are important to the community's agenda.
So you don't think their character and personality is important?
Well, it's important, but it's not there to be bashed around during elections as well.
Well, can I give an example? The best example of that would be currently the Auckland mayoralty, which is hotly contested. It has somebody there who is set himself up as being a character and a personality, and he uses the vernacular, and he's made it very clearly it's about personality, and that is Leo Molloy. Haven't we got the right to judge Mr. Molloy on his character and his background before we decide whether or not he's going to be elected?
Yeah, sure. You can judge him on his character and his policies and all that, as long as he doesn't go out and say derogatory things on women and other ethnicities or even men.
Yeah, I didn't realise that women were ethnicity, but nevertheless. All right, Meng, what you've clarified for me, though, is that this was your initiative, so this came out of the Race Relations Commission office or the Human Rights Commission office, that you sat down with the Chief Executive of Local Government New Zealand, you framed these, and you've clearly told me that it's a number of issues that you wanted Local Government New Zealand to pursue. You've now released these campaigning guidelines for all local government candidates in New Zealand. Will you be judging your success or failure by how many or what? How do you now judge whether or not people have listened or people have enacted these guidelines?
Yeah, well, the first thing that we're doing is actually holding an online forum for any person that wishes to be elected or re-elected and attend that forum, which I will be hosting. And also any candidates that actually, in my view, fall out of line, they will be held to account.
So will you hold them to account publicly?
Absolutely.
All right. Fair enough, Meng. Thank you very much for that. And I thank you for joining me on the show this morning. Appreciate your time. There you go. All right. Now, you thought I was making this up, didn't you? You thought, Laws, he's exaggerating this. There's hyperbole there. You tell me that there isn't an agenda. There is an agenda. And then what's the next part of that? Who's signed up for that agenda? Local Government New Zealand, representing all of the councils of New Zealand. Territorial, regional, unitary. And what is the aim? You heard it yourself. The aim is to make sure that candidates who endorse and adhere to these principles are elected, and that those who do not associate themselves with this agenda or oppose it are called out publicly. An extraordinary interview.